Well, I want to say hi to all my esteemed viewers. Welcome to this channel. Those who haven't subscribed, please do so because that what makes the child grow and it will help me a big ton. Today I would like us to look into the measurements for the doors. When you talk about doors, we had looked at initially we had started the part of looking into what we call the fit outs, okay, fit outs and the finishes. When you talk about the fit outs, you basically mean the windows and the doors. So today I would like us to look at the doors. This is a typical layout of a plan that has been designed and has already been implemented. And I'm using it for the purposes of studies and the purposes of teaching only at this moment. When you're looking at the doors, there are those various elements which it's made up of. And these elements include the items that have been listed here. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go about these items one by one so that we cover them very fast. The items here include, first of all, you normally categorize doors into where they have been built. What that means is that when you're looking at doors, you first go to those that are external doors. This is in relation to the standard methods of measurement, which is the rule that is guiding the measurements that we are referring to. That is within Kenya, Eastern Africa as well. Okay. If you go to other countries, of course, there are other rules. Basics and breakdown of these rules that I'm talking about, they have been discussed in detail in the preceding videos, most of which, actually all of which, are going to be attached to the description of this very channel. So you'll divide your doors, you'll categorize them, that is, into external doors and internal doors. Doors are measured in numbers, okay? So depending on where you're going to start with, you start with the main doors, okay? So you can look at, this is now ground floor, depending on how many floors you have. For instance, this is ground floor. On the ground floor, check the plan. For instance, let me just start from this point. Looking at this is the ground floor. I want to look at the external doors, okay? Of course, let's confirm. This is the kitchen. Kitchen has got its own door, okay? So this is one. This is door number one. There's another door number two to bedroom 4. There's a bed number 2 there. That's a door number 2. Then on the dining, there is also another door. These outdoors are being represented, so that is number 3. Let me see. Then there is also, this is the entrance to the foyer, the living room. There is a door number 4 here. Okay, so from door number 4, just check into each and every space. How are the doors arranged and what spaces are they accessing? So the entry porch, you get to the foyer, sorry. There is a door there. You proceed to the living room. There is no other external door. You move to the passage to the bedroom. There's an external door there. There is a dining. There is a kitchen, and so on. Okay. So I proceed. I move up and check. There is also another external door at the store, the one that is accessing the store. So I'd go to number 4. So in this case, we talk about door number 5. Okay, so those are door number 5. You've already identified the number of doors, those that are external. Okay, the next step, it will be you proceed to what we call the elevations. Okay, from the elevations, you should be able to see the height of these doors, and at least even in the sections, if at all the details have been provided, you should be able to also see what we call let me go to the, let me look at the elevation. on the elevation, at least you should be able to see the details in terms of the heights, okay, and as well the specifications, if at all they have been provided. They have been provided there, okay. So looking at this one of the doors, it's a hardwood timber door to opening schedule. So that means the further details to this door should be provided at what we call the opening schedule. So it's either you to confirm with the architect whether that particular schedule has been given or not. Okay. So proceedings, just to make sure that I get at least a detail of a door here. Then I will proceed to describe and measure. Okay, this is an elevation 01. Okay, elevation 01, we have an MS. MS means mild steel casement window. Okay, that's a window. Let's see if at all there is a door. And as from what I can see, let me just check if there is another detail provided. Of course, the difference between there are windows that will be emanating straight from the floor, while there are those doors that will be while there are those windows that will be having a higher window sill from the reference to the ground floor. Okay, fine. So looking at this is also another detail that I'm referring to, so that I get the information for what I need to describe the doors. And from here, it's shown that there is also another casement, steel casement window. Okay, another casement window. And what that means is that I'm therefore going to proceed to have my doors described as a steel casement doors. Okay. Therefore, I will start just to categorize them. So the external doors, I will put them under steel casement doors. But then further, I will describe them depending on the sizes. Okay. So from the plan, sizes you find from the plan. Check on your plan. Check on my plan just to get the sizes. Of course, not in the elevations, on the sizes. So what I'll do, I'll go to my door number 1 according to my markings. Then I'll check the size. In this case, you can see clearly that the size here has not been given as either in terms of the width. So how do I proceed from that case? So in that case, what you need to do, you refer to the schedule. If the schedule isn't there, then you make an assumption of a standard door size. Okay, so you'll assume that the ones like those that are not double are of standard door size, and the standard door size is about 900 by 2400 millimeters high. Therefore, you go back to your bills of quantities and have your first description indicated 900 by 2400 millimeters high for kitchen and store. Therefore, you decide, or actually you read from the plan, those kind of doors, how many of them are there and how many of them are available and in which spaces are they provided. Okay, in which spaces. So a case like what I have, a case like mine, I'll just see the standard doors. We have one for the external part. We have one. I'll look for door number 2. Door number 2 was down here. I think it has just moved. Okay. So the number 2 is the one to the external, the double door. Okay. The number 3 is also another double door. The number 4 is a single door. So this is foyer, and we have also the kitchen. So you describe kitchen and the store. Okay. Store is the one to the external part. This one here. So those are 2 doors. Okay. This one is sliding, while this other one is a openable door of hinge type. Okay, So what I'll do, we have a one door to the kitchen, and then we have another door to the store, okay? Assuming of standard sizes, unless you've been given details for them, okay? So the standard sizes, 900 by 2400. Then they are measured in number. You'll indicate the two. Of course, rate is a question or a part of study of the next level that you'll be doing. Then you move to the next, okay? You proceed and check your other doors, okay? So that one we've dealt with the door at the kitchen. We've dealt with the door at the kitchen, and we've also dealt with the door at the store. So what follows is the next available door. We are talking about the double doors, okay? One of them is here, which I believe this one I had indicated to be door number 2, okay? This is door number 3, which both of which are double doors, okay? So these double doors, check if at all there is any that has been given in terms of the size. 2400, part of it is a door, some part of it is a window, okay? Those kind of doors that have been attached to windows. So this is, let me check if at all there is any size that is shown so that we can make our assumption based on that. I can see that it's not been provided here. Therefore, we'll assume 1800 millimeters wide by 2400. Okay, so we'll provide that 1800 by 2400. That is only for the foyer. Okay, therefore, you will count all those that are still casement doors. You finish your measurement for all of them. Okay, depending on the type and where they are placed, and also where the sizes of those particular doors. So we talked about the single, those are 900 by 2400. Then you go to those that are double, you finish with that as well. After that, then you proceed to internal doors. Okay, you also proceed to the internal doors by virtue of categorizing them in terms of the sizes. Okay, which basically means you just count. Okay, which basically means you just count for each and every room until all the floors have been covered. Once that is complete, then you proceed to what we call other parts of the door, including the beading. Okay, beading is that part of, for instance, the doors that are having what we call the fan lights. The fan light is that section of the door just above the openable leaf, the fixed part. Okay, it's normally of a size of 300 by 900. So this particular glazing here for fan light, just to allow light into the other room, is normally placed with what we call a beading all around it. So this beading is what we are measuring next, and it's measured in linear meters. Okay, in linear meters. So you measure it round. So if this is 900, this is 300, another 900, another 300, then you guys get the perimeter of that fan light, and you are done with that. Then the other bit you're looking at is what we call the architraves. Architraves, in explanation, is normally placed along what we call the frame, going all that way, okay, along the frame. So it takes the same length as the frame, which basically you get the perimeter. So this is 900, then this is 2400, okay, then get 2400 times 2 because it's this side and this side, and then you add the 900. Of course, at the bottom is the floor, so there is nothing placed there. So that is how you go about the architrave. The next is frame. Frame and the architrave, they have got the same length. The perimeter going 3 sides that I've just explained. Then we look at ironmongery. Ironmongery goes things to do with the hinges and the locks. Hinges are measured in pairs, okay? Hinges are measured in pairs. So what you'll do, at the unit point, you state pairs. What pairs would mean, in a single ordinary door, those that are having 3 hinges. okay, which is the most common one, at the top, middle, and towards the bottom. Those are 3 hinges. 3 hinges measured in pairs would mean 3 divided by 2. That gives you 1.5 pairs. Okay, 1.5 pairs. So depending on how many doors you have, you just count the number of them. If there are 5 doors, so 3 times 5, you divide by 2 because you are going to measure them in pairs. The next is the lock. Locks are measured in numbers. You just count them. If you're having 1 door, of course, you'll have 1 lock. So set 1. Depending on the number of doors you have, that is how you proceed with that. Door stoppers also measured in numbers, the same number as the doors that you have. The same number of the doors. Then we have painting. Okay, this is prepare and apply coat of preservative wood paint to the frames. Okay, so this is the painting that is applied to the frames. You do measure them in linear meters, especially if that girth is less than 300 millimeters. Okay, this is what I mean by girth. Let me just give an illustration here. A quick illustration of the girth would be given this way. Your frame, in most cases, you will see there is the exposed side. There is the part that is attached to the wall, okay, the part that is enclosed on the side of the wall. For instance, I'll pick it to be this side. And then there is the smaller extension here and the opposite side, plus the part that is now attached to the door, this one here. Okay, so you do measure the girth in this way, this, and the part that goes to the other side. So the 3 sides. So if it's a frame that is 150 or 200 millimeters, 200 in this face, and then 50 on this face and the opposite side. So the girth would mean 50 plus 200 plus another 50. So that is 300 millimeters total, okay, of the girth. So this one is not yet greater than 300. Therefore, normally we measure it in linear meters for that particular case, okay. So 100 to 200 millimeters girth. In this case, you'll have actually 50, 100, no, you will take this to be 200 to 300 millimeters, sorry, 200 to 300 millimeters girth. So this means we are measuring the frame in stages of 100 millimeters, okay? So the stages of 100 millimeters, it's now between 200 to 300. If at all, the girth that we've calculated, I've shown you here was 200 millimeters, then it would have been 100 to 200. But now because it's 300 millimeters, it's falling between 200 to 300 millimeters. So that is how you will measure that. So the same length of the frame that you have applied when measuring the frame for itself as the timber is the same length that you'll apply in this case, okay? Then also we talk about this now, the painting to the door itself. You measure that in square meters. Simply take the size of the door in full, okay? In full, that would mean if you have a door of a 900 by 2400, so this is for instance 2400 there, and then we have a 900 here. So you'll take just the length, that is 0.9 times 2.4. You get the area of that particular door. Then you multiply by 2. Okay, let me just erase this bit. This other part. Okay, so this is 0.9 as the width of that door. Okay, times 2.4 times 2. Okay, so you measure the door in 2 sides. One side, the opposite outside, and the opposite side at the back. So once you've done that, then you multiply by the number of doors that you have in total. Same case applies to metal doors for the painting that I've just explained. And then we go to curtain rods. Based on the explanation I gave for the windows, it will be applicable here as well, whereby you measure them in linear meters, giving an extension on either side of the door. So a door that is 900 millimeters in width, okay, a door that is 900 millimeters in width, like the case I am having here, then for the curtain rods, then you need to give an extension on either side. So you refer to this as that, okay? So this one equivalent to around 900, and of course the extension on either side, you give like 150 each, 150 each. So you take the 900 plus 150 plus 150, you get that total length. Once you have that, multiply with the number of doors you have and you're good. Then finally is the glazing. Glazing we measure in square meters. In the doors that are timber doors, depending on the design that you're having. If it's the ordinary standard door, you'll have only glazing at the top, at the part that I referred to as the transom up here. Therefore, that will be 0.9 times around 300 in assumption. If it's a design that have got glazing in many parts, then you refer to that particular section and measure the glazing in that area. All right, so that brings us to the end of our session today. I would encourage you and I would really ask you, for those who haven't subscribed, please do so that you don't miss any of the notifications for upcoming videos. Any questions that you have, just put it to the comment section. I will answer to each and every one of them. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope it helps you learn as well. Have a great day till we meet again in our next session.